What's up, YouTube? I am Ramon Garcia, and welcome to my channel. I want to speak to you today regarding the biggest mistake I've made, investment mistake that I've made throughout my years. I'm hoping that I would help someone. That's why I want to speak to you about it. Hoping that it'll reach someone who's thinking about making the same investment. I say investment, but I don't think it's really an investment. So I want to talk to you about timeshares. Yes, timeshares. I own a timeshare, and it's the single worst thing I've ever done in my life. I regret it. I wish I would have taken that money and invested it somewhere else. But, everything happens for a reason. I'm here to tell someone that based on my experience, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it at all. And I'm going to tell you why. Back in 1996, 97, they offered a trip to a resort. It was a 5-day trip, all inclusive. They even gave us tickets to Disney, and they offered transportation. It was a resort, so they had everything there. They had pools for kids, they had playgrounds, they had basketball courts, gyms, tennis courts. I mean, you name it, they had it. And part of the deal was that we had to sit through an hour and a half of a presentation for an hour and a half. And they were going to present to us their timeshare, their business. So we thought it was a good idea. And we're like, yeah, Disney tickets, nice, let's do it, 5 days, it was $199 for the week. It's crazy, right? $199. So we went to the seminar, and we sat there for about an hour and a half. They took us for a tour throughout the complex. They made a nice presentation, very nice. This particular timeshare that I'm holding is a well-known timeshare. They have resorts throughout the whole country and parts of other parts of the world also. So I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a decent idea. I thought, let me just buy 1 week a year. I think at that time was $36,000 for 1 week a year. I thought, hey, our kids are young. We have 3 little ones. And, we're going to go on vacation, right? We're going to go on vacation every year. So why not just pay for it, and, just call it a day, right? So we agreed to it after an intense back and forth, I would say. At first, we were trying to blow it off, but they kept insisting, and they were bringing different salespeople to try to convince us to buy this timeshare. And finally we gave in. We gave in, folks. We made a mistake and gave in. Yes. I want to say at the time I was probably around 23, 24 years old. And so was my wife. We had a single family home. We weren't investing in multi-family homes or anything like that. We were just working our regular jobs, and she was an RN, and I was a police officer. So we had decent jobs, and we're like, you know what? Heck, let's do it. Let's buy the timeshare. So we agreed to it. We signed the papers. It was pretty much a mortgage for 36 grand, and the common charges at the time were about $600 a year. So we said, that's no money, right? That's great. Let's do it. We'll get 1 week a year. We're guaranteed a week. If we don't want to stay in this resort, we can go to another resort. Well, as the years went by, and as time went by, we were like, man, we're paying this mortgage every month. It was a $36,000 mortgage. I'm not sure for how many. I think it was for like 15 years. But after a while, it got like, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. We're paying this mortgage every month, plus we're paying the common charges every year for a week vacation. It's crazy. So whatever, we kept paying, and I noticed every year the common charges were going up. They were going up. the homeowners association fees were going up. And finally, after about 6 years, I called the office and I said, listen, we started paying $600 a year. Now we're up to like 900 or almost 1,000. I mean, what's going on? This thing gonna keep going up? And they're like, well, yeah, inflation and everything goes up, and we got to raise it 3 to 5%. And then she said something to me that was really striking. That's when I realized, wow, we made a mistake. She said, yeah, this year we had a lot of owners who defaulted. They defaulted and didn't make their payment. They didn't pay their common charges. And so that affects, this is her talking, that affects the rest of the shareholders of the complex. Somebody's got to pay for those fees. So they divvy it up and they raise or assess your fees every year. And that's when I was like, whoa, wait a minute. This is a huge mistake. By that time, I think I had two investment properties, rentals. And I realized by that time, I was in like close to 30, and I realized that I have made a mistake and we couldn't get out. So I tried to get out. I look online and I called attorneys, and basically no one was able to help us. They were like, no, you're stuck. You're stuck with this thing for life. I mean, you can try to sell it to someone else. That'd be your best bet. But, as long as you have it, you got to pay these fees and you got to pay the mortgage. So we're like, oh, geez, all right. So we stuck it out. We didn't want to ruin our credit. As of today, we still own the timeshare. It's paid off. Timeshare's paid off. And we're still paying those common charges, which are now $1,700 a year. From $6 and some change to $1,700 a year. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to make the best of it because we're pretty much stuck. I mean, we could try to sell it, but my wife and I, we spoke about it, and we're like, all right, well, we have kids and we have grandkids, and so let's let them use it, until we get tired, and we can try to sell it or give it away to someone, because right now no one's really buying these timeshares. It's crazy. So the thing about it is, even though it's paid off, the mortgage is paid off, we still can't default because we will be held responsible for the common charges. So that's like a mortgage. The common charges is like a mortgage. So if we default, it'll be like defaulting on a mortgage, pretty much. So I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Why would anyone do this? Wow. So I wanted to speak with you today regarding this timeshare. If you're thinking, you ever thought about getting a timeshare, please, folks, please think twice. Think twice. And if you're at the point where you really want one, you know what? You can go online and buy it like secondhand, because there's people who want to get rid of their timeshare left and right, and they're selling them for cheap. I've seen some for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a timeshare. And of course, you'd have to sign the papers, get an attorney, do a closing, like a regular sale, and you'll be held responsible for any assessments and the monthly fees, the yearly fees that they charge. So, however, you can get a great deal on it. Don't buy a timeshare through the business, through the resort, because you're going to pay an arm and a leg, and there's people actually giving them away. In fact, if you want a timeshare, hit me up, DM me or something. Hit me up on YouTube. I'll respond. Send me your email, and we can talk about handing over mine, which I don't really want to. I wouldn't want to do that to anybody. But if you're that desperate and you don't want to take my advice, or you don't want to heed to it, then hey, I'll give you mine. You can take over the common charges. But folks, it's the worst thing you can do. It's the worst thing you could do now with Expedia, and you have Booking.com, and you have TripAdvisory. You have all these websites now competing with each other and throwing massive deals out there. You don't need a timeshare. You can find crazy deals. Airbnb, oh my goodness. You can find crazy deals out there. Save your money, folks. Don't invest in a timeshare. Take that money and put it as a down payment towards a rental property. That would be your best bet, because that rental property will pay you year after year, month after month, year after year, until you get rid of it. And it depreciates. And you got the write-offs. You got the tax write-offs. It's a beautiful thing, folks. It's a beautiful thing. So invest your money wisely, folks. Stay away from timeshares. Single worst thing you can do. Single worst thing you can do is buy a timeshare. So there you have it, folks. I wanted to share that with you. If you like what I put out there, just hit that like button, smash it, and subscribe to my channel. I got more stuff coming. Check it out, YouTube. Peace out. Thank you.